Welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is Live Thursday on a Wednesday. I thought I would have a bit of a play with my Derwent watercolour pencils. Now these are watercolour pencils, but I've used them as a pencil as well. And again, love those. You can use them as a pencil or as a watercolour. So I've bought this Thomas Kinkade, the Painter of Light. And I thought I was going to have a bit of a play with the cottage, but I'm not going to use these as a watercolor. I'm going to use them as a pencil. So I've got my little long point, and again I like the idea that I've got my pencils here. I've got a pencil sharpener and a book, and I don't need anything else. And that's excuse me, guys. So see if we can get chat up again. Sorry guys, I've had to rejiggle because the old-fashioned way, you could pause it or you could turn mute on and do things. Can't do that with my iPad, so it makes it very, very difficult. And if I just delete this one, no, it's not that one, is it? That one. Hopefully we get everybody back. So welcome to back to Bunny's Designs. So it's Live Thursday on a Wednesday. I'm playing with watercolour pencils, but I'm using them as a pencil. And we've got 3 kittens, the original kittens. The tabby has got a new home. He's settled in really well. He's got a new friend from another, which was really lovely, from another rescue centre. And there's a photo of them, absolutely fantastic, together for 2 days. And Jessie has been noted as, after the 2nd day, waking up wanting attention, which is fantastic news, because and I thought she would do, but I worried. So that is a picture of the tabby with his new brother from a different rescue centre, and after 2 days they're best buddies. So that's quite lovely to see. I've bought some little Christmas lights. I bought them for the girls last year, but I've decided not to. I must have hidden them and forgotten them. And they're like little fairy lights, and they have pegs. And I'm going to hang them up in this room, and we're going to have a photograph of every cat that we rehome and kitten that we save. So we're going to have a little mini hall of fame. So watch this space. That's a little job to do. So I thought, I haven't played with pencils for ages. I did use the Apple pencil, so my wrist is a little bit but I thought I want to use things that people can buy today. And although I've bought some old vintage and second-hand things that you can't get, I'm thinking that might not be the easiest thing. So what I'm going to try and do on this channel is work with colouring with current products, if that makes any sense. Because there's no point showing other things, because it's unfair. People can't get them, and you can't always get the exact thing. You can get the long point pencil sharpener. Now I have bought a Derwent one, but I'm going to use this today just to see again the wrist. I did a little bit yesterday, but again it's if you colour once a month or something, that's fine. If you want to colour every day. So I've got 2 little bins that I've bought from, I think I got them from IKEA. Again, this is now, it was a kitten room yesterday, so technically it's not an art room this today. So, so I bought this little bin here, and I'm not really a pencil sharpener girl, but I will be today. So I've got a little bin there. It might have been from the pound shop. And then I have this little one here. They're both from the same. I don't know if I've lost a wheel. That's why it won't stand. I wonder why it kept falling over. Oh, it's broken off, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a little bin to keep bits in. I actually quite like a jam jar. I've gone off plastic, but I just thought it would keep the lid on. So I will be using that today. I don't normally. So I'll empty my little long pot. I used it once yesterday to sharpen a pencil. Oh, my daughter's used it though. I have bought one for my daughter for each of them because they do like to use pencils as well. So this is the Coom Automatic Long Point. And I am a bit of a pencil sharpener nut where I have to just take the wood off. But I'm changing slightly. So I do want a very pale yellow. So we may as well start with the first one because these are quite blunt, these. I've made some more squares. So what I normally do is, and I haven't used these very much, so you probably won't see when no, I haven't sharpened these since I've bought them. Not the way I sharpen them, taking the wood off. But the next best thing is to buy one of these, no scalpel blade, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but no blade, no knife, one of these. But I only use the number 1. And what happens with the number 1 is you turn and you can see there's a gap here. And I'll keep taking this off so you can see what's happening. Now, again, I hate to do this, but if we watch, what's happening is taking the wood and it's not doing very much to the... And what you can see now is, if I take all that off, is now you can see that that is a strip of colour from the pencil. So when I take it out, and you do it till it turns around and nothing's happening. So now nothing at all is coming off that pencil. You can see it turning, nothing's coming, but that's the end of the pencil. So watch what it's done. It's basically done what I used to do, take the wood off. It has a bit of colour. Now I'm going to keep this because it's all yellow. That's a watercolour. Just can't help myself, guys, sorry. Just cannot help myself. Have to do this. Somewhere I might find some kind of... I have thought about using the Inktense pencils as well. If I get a chance, I might do an hour with one set of pencils and an hour with the other, using Inktense pencils and watercolour pencils. I know what I'm going to do because I might not get a chance to do this again. I'm just going to tip that in here. So if you put that into a well and put water to it, you'll have a yellow watercolour. Now there's a little bit of a different colour in there as well, so it wouldn't be the vibrant yellow. So what we have now, I've made such a mess, look, messy girl. We have the watercolour pencil has been sharpened with the number 1 system. Now the number 2 system will take this pencil to a point. And I say, I don't normally do that. I'm such a mess today. I'm not a pencil girl, you see, normally. I haven't been for years. So I'm going to put that in here and I'm going to turn it. And you can see, now that is pure watercolour. And you've turned it till nothing's happening. And when you take it out, look at that. Now, the only thing I will say is this is very, very, very delicate. But if you want that beautiful highlight in there, this is how to do it. So we can go darker, but we can't go lighter. So in the middle of each of these, and it's a stroke. You see that just that little end gave way then. I'm not putting it all over because I don't want it all over. I just want it roughly where I want it. So we're looking at the reference and we're just, again, you see how soft it is. I don't normally do this precision, but I'm showing you you can do. See if I can, oh look, I can pinch and zoom. That's so clever. me see if I can do it that way. So as you can see, I am putting, and the points now not quite as sharp, just a little stroking you can hardly hear. And we want a little bit in the middle here. And if I wanted to at this point, this is where I would put these highlights. Remember, I'm using this as a pencil, not as a watercolour. I'm just going to use some pencils. And I want some spots of light. Oh, hi, Katrina. Oh, sorry, Melody. I apologize. I had to stop because I had a visitor. Next year I will be on the camera, and I can put with my headphone set, and so I'll be able to just turn things on and off, and I won't have to do that. So we've found some yellow here. So this is the lightest colour. This is the zinc yellow, the brightest. So that means I can work around there now if I want. But I thought I would put the little drops of light. There's not many here. This is the greeny one. But here it's a warm yellow. I can always do other things with it, but I just wanted to have a bit of a patch here that we can just think. Sorry about the noise, guys, because of course we've got the babbies in here. And I'll feed the girls and see if they'll come out. So I've put very tiny strokes, and I've been quite gentle, so I've still got a decent point. I just don't have that very, very sharp point. And then I can put it back in its slot, and you can see that now is going to sit with that point and weight, and it's going to be fine. A word of warning, they are sharp. So the other thing that I should have, it's such a mess, is I've got a piece of paper, just ordinary copy paper, and it means I can just do a bit of a test, because I don't normally do that. I don't match colours, but if you are matching colours, you need to test. It's a colour test. So we could do the little door if we're going to do something kind of simple and we want a quick effect. So we'll do the so did I update it on Jessie? Yes, I did. Updated on Jessie. Is that no better? Oh dear, it's going to be one of those days. Is that no better, the picture? If I don't zoom in too much, maybe it would be good. So what I want to do is the little door. And I think there's a little dog sat there. So I'm going to do the door. So again, I'm going to choose the colours. And I'm just going to zoom back out because I think that's better. And we have a little Bungle looking in. Bungle's a little bit rough with the babbies. He's a little bit rough with the babbies. And it's sorry, they're just having a bit of a... Oh, sorry, Melody, I'm having a look, but I can't see it. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. Let me have a look at my chat on YouTube and see if I can do this without my phone going dead. Oh, sorry, Melody. She said she was waiting at the last stream. Yeah, I think I'm going to... The Thursday stream is going to stay the same, but the YouTube channel... and I'm buying a new food processor so that I can make food easy because I've stopped cooking, and my health is deteriorating because of it as well, with this thing that I've had with the pseudo gout. So the Bunnies Disables designs will be about helping the house to be a bit more better for me. So there'll be art therapy in there, and there'll be cooking in there, and things to do that are easy with poorly hands, because we want to save our hands for our artwork, because this is our therapy. Oh, somebody's having a bit more of a scrunch than probably normal. I'm going to keep that piece of paper out. I need to keep colours in. That's what I need to do. I've forgotten. Thanks, Melody. I'd forgotten about that. So we see if we can keep colours. They tend to be a bit rough, do they, the kittens? Do you think that's any better? I would have liked it been the other way around, actually, but I'm not sure if I could do it the other way around, because my hand would be in the way then, even though you could see the reference. So we'll persevere and see how we get on. Move that. They're getting bigger, the kitties. They are getting bigger. They're getting bigger and naughtier, are the kittens. Oh my goodness. So I've got my little bit of scrappy paper there, which I can just have a bit of a... so that's like an aubergine colour, so we can have a look at our pinks. There's a Madder Carmine, and again, one other little thing I like to use is my little book of watercolours, because I'm looking at the end of the pencil and I'm looking at a name, but when I look at these, I can see what they're going to do. Now, obviously, this is a watercolour, but I can see in here a general, slightly better idea of a flat colour, because that's what this is, layers of flat colour. Tangerine isn't pink enough. Let's have, oh, we're in ink 10, so you see, that's why I need to rechange these. Oh, the Madder looks quite nice. The Madder Carmine looks quite kind of deepy pink. That looks quite nice, does that one. And I'm just going to look, see if we've got an aubergine in the purples, but I don't think we have. There's an imperial purple, and so what I might do is get imperial purple out, and also the Madder Carmine as well. So we've got the two pencils that we think are near or nearest, so we'll just do that. And again, this particular one, it doesn't really matter if it's not perfect. So it's a reddy one rather than a purpley one, but we could do this. So we can put purple over the red, and if you see, there is a little bit of residue because this is a watercolour pencil. I think I like the red one, and I am going to put a bit of a point on it. So as I go along, I will be sharpening these today. I don't normally, but I will. So we've taken the number 1 and we've put it up till it says stop. When you turn, nothing happens. You take it out and you put it in this one. But the only reason I'm doing this, I would normally take it to the first step. I'm not actually going to take it right back. I've got a point. I don't want to waste it. I don't want a fine point because I'll snap it. So I'm going to leave it at that. But it's given me enough so that I can go in this little, just stroke very carefully. Just stroke very, very, very carefully. Let's see what I can do with this door. It is tiny, this door, but we'll see what we can do. So I'll zoom in and pinch and zoom in a bit. See if we can do that without making too much of a mess. Oh, hi Dave, welcome to Bunny's Designs. See if we can just get to this door. Sorry about the fingernails, guys. So I did a fine, very, very soft colour coverage. Then I've just gone very carefully. Again, I've got this lovely point. If I turn it, you might see there is a sharper point now. Turn it, I'm going to have a very sharper point, and I can go down that edge to create a shadow. I can then go down the middle of this one to create a shadow, and this one. And the same with that one, even though the little dog's in the wrong place. And we want a little bit of a shadow going on here. Hello, darling. We have a new kid on the block. Hello, Puss Puss. Hello, darling. This is Hector. Hello. Look at the baby. Sorry, guys, just 2 seconds. This is a new... They've only been here a day. They came yesterday afternoon. And look who's behind. Look who's just turned up. Oopsie. Sorry, guys. Oh. Look who's just turned up next to me. Hello, darling. Hello. This is a little girl. Hello, darling. So they are coming out. And these were the terrors that are playing. So this, I think this is Hector. Hector, puss, puss, puss. And obviously what he's watching is, he's watching the terrors playing on the sofa. Having a whale of a time. So he's come out. The little girl is quite skittish. So, but that's quite good. That means she's come out. So that's good. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it's not clear. It may have something to do with colour, does it? Does it have something to do with not having enough colour on? Maybe I shouldn't pinch and zoom. Do we think that's any better? Yes, Melody, the 5 spotty black and white kittens. Hello, you're going to say hello. Hello, darling. The 5 little kittens. And in their own environment, of course, they were in another home. They were running around, right, but obviously they've come into the house where the other ones are, and they're not as happy. So again, you can just, and this is a watercolour pencil, but there's no water. And we're just kind of, now what we could do with that one is perhaps darken it. And to darken a purple and a red, we'll have a green. I'm going to put a little bit of bottle green. Bottle green? Sap green. Let's try a bit of sap green. Just a tiny bit. Just to... And I didn't sharpen the pencil, so I have to shout at myself for not doing that. So we'll sharpen the pencil. Has anybody got any questions? So he's Hector, and there's Hetty. I think Hattie's gone. Now what I've done is I've broken this one because I'm not with it. Look, I've broken the end. But what I want to show you is that is pure watercolour. So that will be going in a little pan. So again, we'll sharpen this one. Now, as I say, I did bring I'm only going to do it that much because I don't really want to do too much, but I want a bit of a point. So you don't have to do it all the way, you can still get a decent amount. And there's actually no point, unless you want a very fine spot, in doing that fine point. But I just wanted to show you could do it. So what I'm going to do now is just touch that green over the red. And then I'm going to go back with the number 19, the Nevada Carmine, and little circular motions if you want, little square whatever, however you're used to doing it. This is little circular motions if you want. And what you're doing is we're building up colour, and I've asked hubby to bring me the bag, but he's outside still. But what you can do is this will build up a couple of layers. Not much, because again, it's a pencil. This isn't pencil paper, this is just... But we've got a little bit of something going on. And we don't really need to do much more to that now, until we finish the whole lot. And then we can draw things forward and draw things back. So again, just maybe a little bit more green. Just down that far side. And we're not full strength red yet, so you can see how lovely and rich that's coming. I'm not very good at blending pencils. I don't normally do it. I haven't done it for a while. I've done it a couple of times. So if you want to watch how to blend pencils, that's how to do it. But what I want to show you is, of all the lovely things we've got with the Derwent watercolour pencils, you can still use them as a pencil in their own right. And anything that you can get double whammy out of it, that's for me. So if you wanted to think, well, I want pencils, but I want the Derwent watercolour pencils, do both. Oh, hi, Darla. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. Are we still okay? And one thing I've forgotten to do. Oh, it's still fuzzy. I don't know why it's still fuzzy. It is still fuzzy, isn't it? Is it because it's white? Oh, for goodness sake, missus. Let's put that there. And we'll just work in a small space. I'll work sideways in a small space. Do we think that might be a little bit better? Is that any better, guys? I'm going to be using the other camera as well next year as well, not the iPad. So hopefully it'll be better. So we seem to have got greys around the frame. So we'll do the greys next. And of course I've got my greys here. Silver grey, French grey and gunmetal. It's a warm grey, so I think it's going to be a French grey. I don't think there's any silver in it, but of course having three colours is quite good, because we've got a mid-tone, then we've got a pale tone and a dark tone. So again, if you look at a set of anything and have three of one colour, you know you're okay. And then if you want any deeper shadows, you've got your complementary colour. I don't really know why it's fuzzy, guys. It's because it's on the front camera. I wonder if it should be on the other camera, perhaps. I'll turn it around, guys, and see if I can do it on the other camera. So just bear with me a second, because I don't want to make you ick. So see if we can turn this over. And no, I don't have. We'll try that, guys. See if that's any better. Do we think that might be better? Just look at that. Out slightly. What I will have to do then is to is to sit it up, but I don't think it will do that. Now is not the time to rearrange. Now is not the time to rearrange anything. It's got what's tall that will hold that. Right. Oh, we've got some hissy spitty going on. The girls are hungry. I can't really hold it while I draw, if that makes any sense. Let's see if we can put that in there. Yeah, I may have to give up, guys. I may have to give up. Because the camera is not going to behave itself because of the angle. Just trying to think what I've got in the room that I could stand it on. A cat bucket. A cat bucket maiden. They're calming down. Hello, darling. Are you hungry? Let's put some food down because we've got rid of the elf master, haven't we? Come on, Hector. There we go. Babies! Babies! Hello, Trouble. Hello, Trouble. Hello, Trouble. Where's the babies? Oh, we have a sniffle. Where's the babies? And I got up for something and I forgot what it was. I had the bucket. I saw the bucket. I saw the bucket. So what we may have to do is to put the iPad on a bucket. Put the iPad on a bucket, if in doubt. What have you done with that? It's definitely a kitten space today. Right, we have a bucket now, so I have a bucket. I have a bucket for an iPad. To see the phone, so I can see what I'm doing. In a few moments. This will be one of the last times that you see this because, as I say, we will be right. So let's see if that's any better. Let's see if we can tilt that out to be slightly better. What do you think, guys? Is that any better? Apart from the fact we're upside down. Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you, darling. Thank you. See what we can do. Unless I work upside down. I could work upside down. Then that would be confusing to me, but not for you. That might be. We will get there. There is a way. There is a way we could get there. So let's have a look at that. If I work upside down. So we've got 2 new fur babies. We've got, it still doesn't seem to be quite as sharp, does it, guys? Sorry. We may have to give up, guys. We may have to give up. But it was fine the other day. I don't know. I wonder if it's the white, perhaps. Perhaps it's the white. But the problem is getting that to do that. But we could play upside down with the thing, I think, hopefully. I don't think it's going to play today, guys. So apologies, this probably won't make it to anywhere it's playing up a bit. I'm just going to get I started to put my I started to put my palette something in that one. I've been looking at all the palettes and trying to get them together and kind of sort things out. I did find some little wells. Oh, we have a, let's have a what's it Cam, we have a baby. Take the bucket away, sorry guys. Yeah, I won't be able to do anything today guys, sorry. It's going to be one of them silly bitty days, sorry guys. We have a friend. What have you been looking at? He's been in my tea. Have you been in my tea? So we're mainly natter, guys, if anybody's got any questions. So we've got the little girl cat. I was going to put that on there, but I can't find it now. So in here, I've got that long strip of green and I've got some yellow. So I think I'm going to keep it. And I've got some posts. Don't climb on there, you'll fall. Hello, Hector. Have you come out to play? Puss, puss, puss. Hi, Hector. And I have a cutting plan. Yay! I have a cutting plan. I have my little bag of, these would be handy always to have in. So what we could do is, if we really wanted to have a good old play, is just take the, you don't really want the wood in if you can help it. So it might be a bit fiddly. But what we can do is knock that onto your hand. So first of all, I would put that one in one of there, in there. So that's the green. You could label them, but, and of course, because you've got now this watercolour, and it's a bit fiddly, I have to say. Easy if you do it straight out of the thing, but see, look, there's one got there. So I'm going to spray that with water, and I can show you later what it's going to do. Now this is the same green. So I can put that green straight in there. So I've now got some green and some yellow. And obviously you want to put this on a tray so things don't get knocked over, because of course we've got kitty winkles and all sorts of things. But if you were going to spend the day sharpening your watercolour pencils, and it's good, beautiful quality water, then pigment, then you want to put it in there. Hope that makes sense, guys. Oh, hi Nick and Tina, welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else popping in? Trying to read chat on phone, so it's not working brilliantly well, but we're trying. We're trying. So having technical difficulties again today. And then of course you can just put your wood shavings away in the bin. So we've got a big bin for the wood shavings. We've got some little pans and half pans to collect the watercolour that is now all over the table. I mean, it's not going to be the brightest yellow, but it's going to be a beautiful yellow, and it's not wasted. And there's the Alf pants. Have you got any questions? Hector, puss, puss, puss. He's coming up. Now, this is the little cat that doesn't have any black on him. Come on. Oh, we've gone wrong one. Come on. Psst, psst, psst. Hello, Hector. He was the naughty one in the other set. Oh my goodness, you have to see this guy. Look at that. How much naughtiness can we fit in the? They love this room because it's sunny. So he likes to be over there, and these two like to be in the hammock. And that's, if I do really carefully, the new kid on the block. I knew you didn't like that. Hello, Hector, darling. Hector. Hello, darling. Hello. And little Hetty is hiding, so but they only arrived yesterday afternoon. So of course you're beautiful. They're beautiful little boy. It's Hector. It's beautiful. See if we can get him to come up. I'm trying to hold that. And in their own environment, they were very, very. We like to play. Oh no, okay, we don't like to play then. It's going to take a couple of days. It always does. It's coming back out again. It's coming straight back out again. Hector! Hello, darling. Come on. Of course. Oh, we're going to have some hissy spitty. You always expect hissy spitty. Always expect hissy spitty. As Samantha says, it's a technical term. So we've got some new kids, and you're going to be naughty. So we've got some new kids on the block. I think it's something to do with colour. So let's see if I can put that there so it'll diffuse the light. Oh, that's purple. It shouldn't really do that, should it? We've got the purple on the background, so it shouldn't have a lot of white on there. Let's see if we can put that there. I suppose the next one we could do is the tree. I didn't do the frame. I'll go quickly back to the greens. We'll see how well we do, guys. Hopefully we might get a bit better. How are we doing for oh, hi Darlo, welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else popping in? It's a live Thursday Wednesday show today. The French grey I kind of thought would look quite nice. I'm going to go all over with that, but what I wanted to show, and I can't find it because it's in the other room, I'm going to leave that as the highlight, that one. And I'm just going to put kind of a little bit around there. So instead of snow, our white is going to be our highlight instead of snow. So we can go back to these warm windows. I'll just see if I can do the windows. Hello, Hector. Have you come to sit with me? Psst, psst, psst. Hello, darling. Hello. Hello. This is the new baby. Hello. I'm going to have a moment because at the minute there's another little boy there as well. So we've got one boy there. And we have a little boy here. Come on, Hector. Oh no, Hector's gone. Going to have to let Hector come back when he wants. You can't rush kittens. They have to do it when they want to do it because you can damage them. It's a very fine line between. It's like children. You want to make them to do something, but you can't make them do it with any kind of force. It's all got to be coaxing. Because you can very easily make them so scared that you set them back quite a lot. So it's different to cats. But I'm so pleased that Jessie's finding her own. I thought she would do because my daughter was in Manchester, was away for 3 weeks, and the minute she came back, she just ran up to her in the bedroom and said, "Hi, you're in the bedroom. This is my room. Come and stroke me." And that is such a good sign. We've got some telling off and hissy spitty going on. I don't know what happened with my white. I think I've taken it out. We'll have a quick look at the tree one. So I just wanted to bob on and have a bit of a play of doing something. So trees, we've got, oh, we're going here for the browns. This is why I did this one. Chocolate is always good, and I have sharpened the chocolate one, you can tell. I don't want a Venetian red. I want a cooler tree. It's not a warm tree, it's a cooler tree. And again, I've got my little bit of paper. So I kind of like that one, and I do like chocolate for a shadow. So you can see, just by doing that, you can find a light and a dark. So I'm going to sharpen the Van Dyke brown. I think I'm going to probably do it half, so it's not as long. Tip the wood out and then put it in the bit that just takes off the pure colour. So of course we've got all that beautiful colour now. It's not a perfect point, it's a dull point, but I've got a ridge, and I can then, if I want to, just collect that little bit of brown and put it in. And if you did that every time you use your pencils, eventually you would end up with, you know, quite a lot of colour to then mix and use. So back to our tree. Again, a little bit of very soft, very, very, very light. In fact, a bit lighter than that. I'm only going to do half the tree. Remember, in watercolour and pencil, really your white is the white of your paper. So I can tell that I've left a little bit. I'm just going to do a little bit up here. That can come down. And then we can kind of think, okay, then let's just another little circles. These are lovely and waxy, these. Even it's a watercolour. And then maybe not quite so much of a highlight there. And then very carefully stroking the top. We're not pushing down at all. Rubbing and just little circular motions. And if you do it this way, you don't hurt your hands. And I think what helps is, because it's a watercolour in the binder, we're just getting that little bit of an edge. And then if we want some kind of darker areas, we can just kind of go in there again a little bit more. And you really want to look at the tree more than I'm doing. And eventually you can take the chocolate to that black line and it will disappear. And we've got a lovely bark effect, and yet we've not done very much. So if you can, and that's 2 layers. 3 layers would just make such a difference. And we're using it dry, so of course that's quite nice. Build up a bit of a shadow up there. And of course we can build that shadow across, and then we can make that tree 3D. But the tree won't stand out too much. Until we get the light behind, and then the tree will pop out. And if I could put my hand in the way, that would make a difference. Maybe, I say apologies for the fingers, they're a bit so we could leave those there and look for an oatmeal colour, a raw sienna and a raw umber So these three and golden brown and burnt golden ochre. So we've got 6 colours here. And again, we're having a look at these lovely colours in here. So the palest one is raw sienna. So we'll have a little look at raw sienna. And straight away I can see, I think that's going to be gorgeous. Then we want the next colour down, and I don't think there's much in it. Oh, there is a little bit. That one is ochre brown. And then I'm going to look at raw umber. And again, if you do, again, build up that. When you see pencil dust, you know that's too much. But we can get a lovely rich colour, which will be the shadow between each ridge. So we've now got our 3 colours. We can put these back and work with these 3. So we've got brown ochre 57, raw sienna and raw umber. And so we've got a highlight, a mid-tone and a shadow. Oh, get well soon, Katrina. I hope you feel better soon, darling. Oh, hi, Karen. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. Anybody else popping in? So the palest one is on the far side. So we'll just do that one shadow here. And again, it's not really that well. I'm not going to bother sharpening them. I don't need to. It was only if I wanted a sharp edge. This will be quite happy. I will sharpen the dark one because I want a line. I want a really nice crisp. But because this is all rounded, it's perfectly all right. Not going to waste any. And it is a watercolour. So then you have to think of going across there. He seems to be wanting to tell. What are you playing with? They were playing with kittens. I don't know what he's doing. What are you doing? Pause. Pause, 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 pause. Psst, 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 psst. He has no idea I'm talking to him. Absolutely no idea. Absolutely nothing there. Oh, you're playing with some pound coins. That's what you're playing with. You've lost some pound coins, have you? Shiny coins. Is that what you were playing with? Pennies. I'm not sure that's clean enough, really. I know you're not a baby, but still, shouldn't be playing with coins. Now I've upset him now because I've taken his toy away. He says, "Oh, we're playing with that." So have a wonderful Crimble, guys. I'm not going to be around, I don't think, next week. Not quite sure. We'll try, but just want to get... So we've got no shadow on that side. We've got a bit of highlight on that side. So we're now looking at a bin instead of kittens. We are now looking at a bin and a tail. Just see the tail end. He's got... Could you bring me that other bag, darling, please? The one that had the art things in. It's the one I took yesterday. It's got the Christmas... No, it has to go on a mat, darling, because it'll damage. Sorry, I'm just not doing very well today. I'm out here. I've lost my little... No, it's here somewhere. The kittens came in. Oh, that's where it is. Thank you, darling. I have to keep... I know, Alfie used to be out, really, because he'll be still on the cat food now. We can leave Bungle in. Bungle's inoculated now. Bungle can go in.
Go on, Alfie. Alfie.
Alfie, no, don't be naughty. There we go. Good boy, Alf. There's a bag, Nigel, that we took to the Abbey. It's a white, it could be an orange bag. It's got the colour books in, the Christmas colour books, please. Not quite organised with the Abbey yet, but I took the colouring books anyway. Oh, is it all gone? Darling, sorry, darling. It has, it's gone, hasn't it? I've gone off. Don't know why. No, don't hissy spitty, thank you. Oh, dear me. No, we're not doing that. Yeah, I've lost the picture now, actually. I don't know what I've done. Let's see if that works. See if that works. No, I've lost it. No, don't pop it on there then, pop it on there. I don't think that's the one, is it? That's not the one, there's another one. No, I've gone. I'm going to have to give up, guys. It's not going to work. Oh, this is the one, Nigel. That's fine. Thank you, darling. Right, I'll just pop these away because these are to be away.
Alfie.
I was going to show you a little bit of this if it's going to go. But I don't think it is.
Come on.
If you put his harness on, we can pick him up there. Out. Good boy. I did a couple of pages with pencils last year. Yeah, I haven't come back, guys. Sorry, I don't know what I've done wrong. Oh, are we back? Are we back? Sorry, guys. Don't know what I've done. Jeez. I tried to swap cameras. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I made. That's just, we're not doing well. I'll do one more, guys, and then I'll come out of YouTube and go back in and see if I can get it working again, and just go through the colour books with the pencils. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.